Good evening for India, good morning for US, good afternoon for Australia, and so on. Padma Shri Dr. S.R. Vallare Memorial Lecture Series is held virtually on all Saturdays from 6 p.m. in the evening to 8 p.m. in the evening as per Indian Standard Time through Zoom. All are welcome irrespective of their geographical locations. Thanks to Corona for having made this possible. The topic for discussion for the Zoom meeting on today, the Saturday, the 8th January 22, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is on thick cylinders. Learn free from any place, learn free at any time, learn free at any pace. This is an Atmanirbhar Bharata initiative. The program is called as lecture series. However, wherever possible, discussion methods will be utilized to the extent possible for exchange of ideas among the participants, including the speaker, for the purpose of encouraging everybody in terms of thinking, in terms of learning, in terms of problem solving, and in terms of understanding the topic of interest. The resulting multiple points of view is expected to help to build better knowledge, better understanding, and better interpretation of the information. The topic today for discussion is on thick cylinders. This is actually a topic, that is a portion of a topic in a subject called strength of materials. That was in those days was a common subject for all branches of engineering, including polytechnics and engineering colleges. However, after something like 77 onwards, there was some change made by the universities, the technical boards, and the deemed universities, deemed to be universities, etc., because of the simple reason that this subject was not understood by the students whom they are teaching in their respective institutions. As a result, a number of students could not pass this paper in their examinations, which they have to write either in the next examination session, or if they had failed in more number of subjects than this, then they may have to wait for one more year, during which they can pass this paper in subsequent examinations, and then only they can go to the next semester or next academic year. This was a major problem felt by educational institutions, irrespective of whether they were deemed or whether they were to be deemed or whether they are recognized universities. And technical boards. Therefore, they eliminated this subject as a common subject of study for all branches of engineering because of the simple reason that for subsequent semesters or subsequent years of study, the colleges or institutions were not able to get the fees from the students who have not cleared the previous semester or the previous annual examinations. As a result, later on, further changes made that universities, the engineering institutions, many of them were converted from the affiliated colleges to recognized universities to become deemed universities or to be deemed universities. In this, there was a significant change made so that the number of students who fail in the examination were minimized and almost brought to nil. The method adopted by these deemed and to be deemed universities, which are the individual colleges or institutions, there the teacher sets the question paper for home assignments. The teacher sets the question paper for the class tests. The teacher sets the question paper for the semester examination or the annual examination. This same teacher will evaluate the question paper and gives marks to the students. He is under strict rules by the management that if the students fail and they cannot get the fees for the next semester or the next annual examination, then they will remove the teacher. As a result of this, number of students failing in this paper in only particular branches of engineering have been brought to almost zero because somehow they will put the minimum marks required for clearing the paper and to go for the next semester or the next annual examinations. However, many people find this subject is a very difficult subject to learn, but it is not so. In reality, this subject by name strength of materials, which was called in those days and now slightly modified into mechanics of solids, or they will also change it to some other equivalent names. This paper, anybody can easily score 100 out of 100. It is because of the simple reason that they have to study only 62.5% of the syllabus that is prescribed for the course so that they will be able to get 100 out of 100 marks. This is because of the simple reason that in all universities and technical boards examinations, the question papers are set and asked such a way that either to answer 5 full questions out of 8 or 6 full questions out of 12 questions given in the question paper. And similar changes will be there. So in view of this, to make this subject simpler to understand, easy to solve problems, etc., an attempt has been made here to present the method of solution of problems on thick cylinders in the simplest possible way and in the shortest possible time. The thick cylinders are made from sheet metals or materials. The inner diameter of a thick cylinder is always less than or equal to 20 times the thickness of the material used in the fabrication of the thick cylinder. It is having a length of L. So in the figure shown, Di is the internal diameter. T is the thickness of the sheet metal used in forming the cylinder. Now, the outer diameter is calculated as di plus 2 times the thickness of the material used in the fabrication of the thick cylinder. Ri is the radius of inner radius of the cylinder. It is half the inner diameter of the cylinder. Ro is the outer radius of the cylinder, which is half of the outer diameter of the cylinder. Px is radial pressure at any radius x. Fx is hoop stress at any radius x. Here, for solving problems, the equations called Lamb's equations are used. They are Px is equal to b by x square minus a and Fx is equal to b by x square plus a. In the Lamb's equations, a and b are constants. They are to be determined from known conditions in the given problem. Substituting the values of the constants a and b determined in the Lamb's equation, the Lamb's equations applicable for the given problem are obtained. Example of the Lamb's equation for a particular problem becomes Px is equal to 281250 by x square minus 62.5. Fx is equal to 281250 by x square plus 62.5. By substituting the values of x from x is equal to Ri up to and including x is equal to Ro in the convenient steps of increments, the variation of Px and Fx for different values of x are obtained. The variation of Px and Fx for different values of x obtained are tabulated. Here I is the increment in x. The variation of Px and Fx for different values of x obtained are tabulated. Here I is increment in x. So when Ri x is equal to Ri is 100 mm, the Px is 5 MPa and Fx is 11.4 MPa. Similarly, at outer radius x is equal to Ro, which is 160 mm, the corresponding values for Px is 0 and Fx is 6.4 MPa. The values of Px and Fx for other values of the radii are shown in this tabulated form. These variations in Px and Fx can be plotted on a plotter to get a graphical presentation of the variation of Px, the radial pressure, and Fx, the hoop stress, which varies with change in x along the cross section of the cylinder material. An example is like this. A metallic pipe of thickness 60 millimeters has an internal diameter of 200 mm. It carries water under a pressure of 5 megapascals. Determine the maximum shear stress and the maximum and minimum intensities of circumferential stresses induced in the pipe material. Show the variation of the radial pressure and the Hooft stress across the cross section of the thick cylinder. From the given data in words and sentences form, the first step is to collect all the data that is given in the problem, which will be useful in solving the problems. For example, in the current example problem, T is the thickness of the pipe is given as 60 millimeters. Di is inner diameter of the pipe, which is given as 200 millimeters. Ri is the inner radius of the pipe, which is 100 mm, because we take the outer radius of the pipe as inner radius of the pipe plus the thickness of the material used for the fabrication of the thick cylinder. So in this case, RO is outer radius of the pipe becomes 100 plus 60 or 160 mm. It is required to find the maximum shear stress, that is written as Fs max, and F max, which is the Hooft stress, and F min, which is also the Hooft stress, that is maximum and minimum values of the Hooft stress. And variation of the Px is the radial pressure and Fx is the Hooft stress with change in the x value. The Lamb's equations are Px is equal to B by x square minus A, Fx is equal to B by x square plus A. Known conditions are Px is equal to 5 when x is equal to 100 mm and Px is equal to 0 when x is equal to 160 mm. Here, Px is equal to 5 MPa is given when x is equal to 100 mm. Px is equal to 0 when x is equal to 160 mm is assumed because nothing is stated in the given problem about what was the external pressure acting on the thick cylinder. So it is assumed that the external pressure acting on the outside of the given thick cylinder is 0. Substituting the values of Px when x is equal to 100 mm in the Lamb's equation will give Phi is equal to B by 100 square minus A. Similarly, Px is equal to 5 MPa when x is equal to 100 mm, therefore becomes 5 is equal to B by 100 square minus A. And Px is equal to 0 MPa when x is equal to 160 mm, therefore gives 0 is equal to B by 160 square minus A. Now subtract 2 from 1 gives 5 is equal to B by 100 square minus B by 160 square. Taking B common factor, we get phi is equal to 1 by 100 B into 1 by 100 square minus 1 by 160 square. Or phi is equal to B into 160 square minus 100 square by 160 square into 100 square. This can be also written as this form: phi is equal to B into 260 into 60 by 160 square into 100 square. What is actually done is A square minus B square is written in the form of A plus B into A minus B. A plus B becomes 260 and A minus B becomes 60. That is 160 plus 100 is 260. 160 minus 100 is 60. Therefore, rewriting value of B is written as 5 into 160 square into 100 square divided by 260 into 60, which is in the denominator. Subtracting 2 from 1 gives B is equal to 82051.3. Substituting the values of B in the equation 2 gives 0 is equal to B by 160 square minus A, or A is equal to 82051.3 by 160 square. So therefore, A is equal to 80051.3 divided by 160 square. This becomes, on simplification, A is equal to 3.2 MPa. Substituting values of A and B in the Lehm's equation gives, that is, A is equal to 3.2 MPa and B is equal to 82051.3 N. So Px is equal to B by x square minus A, and Fx is equal to B by x square plus A will become Px is equal to 82051.3 by x square minus 3.2, and Fx is equal to 82051.3 divided by x square plus 3.2. Substituting various values of x from x is equal to Ri to x is equal to Ro in increments of I, the values of Px and Fx for different values of x are obtained. The results are tabulated. Values of Fx and Px for different values of x are tabulated here. From the table, it is seen that when R is equal to 100 or x is equal to Ri, which is equal to 100, the radial pressure Px is 5 MPa and the hoof stress Fx is 11.4 MPa. Similarly, at x is equal to Ro is equal to 160 mm, Px is equal to the radial pressure is equal to 0 at the outer surface in MPa, whereas the hoof stress at the outer radius is 6.4 MPa. From the table, it is seen that the maximum hoof stress occurs at inner radius, which is 11.4 MPa, and minimum hoof stress occurs at external radius, which is 6.4 MPa. Between inner radius and outer radius, the values of the hoof stresses Fx for various values of x are tabulated here. They increase. There is a continuous decrease in the value of the hoof stress starting from the inner radius towards the outer radius of the thick cylindrical cell's cross section. The radial pressure at x is equal to 100 is the highest, which is the radial pressure to which the pipe is subjected, either because of fluid flowing through it or because of something contained within the cylinder at higher pressure of equivalent to 5 MPa. This decreases gradually and becomes 0 at the outer surface when the external surface is not subjected to any outside pressure. So this is about how the problems on thick cylinders are solved. Now, using the tabulated values or results, it is quite possible to make a plot and produce the graphical representation indicating the variation of the radial pressure, the hoof stress with change in the radius across the thickness of the cross section of the thick cylinders. So this one we will take up in the next class, where we will solve several problems of different kinds which normally appear in all university and technical board examinations of either polytechnics or engineering colleges, deemed universities, to be deemed universities, and professional institutions which they conduct equivalent degree level examination courses. Please go through the recording of this video. There are plenty of mistakes available there, particularly every keystroke is itself an important source of error. Efforts are made to see that things are free of any errors. However, it is possible that because of some changes which are automatically made by the software, when whatever we type is not the one whatever it appears on the screen, because of the automatic changes in the letters from the lower script to the higher script, or the words which the automatic corrections futures have made. But these things we will try to eliminate in future presentations, and corrections will be made. As you know, enormous amount of labor is involved in thinking, in planning, then presenting the material in the simplest possible form and in the shortest possible time. That actually requires too much of hard work. So what we will do is, in the next session on 15th January 22, we will continue the topic and solve different varieties of problems that normally occur in all question papers related to six cylinders in engineering colleges and polytechnics, so that students can understand the subject clearly, correctly, and completely, and solve any problems that appears in the question paper, so that they will be able to get the full marks. Normally, the questions carry either 10 marks or 20 marks, depending on the pattern of the question papers that are normally given for courses like engineering, undergraduate courses, or polytechnics. So, let us wait and see how all varieties of problems can be solved by using the Lamb's equations, which keep on differing from problem to problem. The important thing here is Lamb's problems, Lamb's equations are general type. They contain the constants A and B. The values of constants A and B are to be determined by using the data given in the problem from the known conditions. Once the values of the constants A and B are determined, we obtain the exact equations which we have to use for solving given particular problem. So once that particular equations which are applicable to the given problem using the Lamb's equations are obtained, then the variation of the radial pressure and the hoof stresses across the cross section of the thick cylinder can be easily calculated by substituting different values of x for each value of x in the Lamb's equation. Corresponding radial pressure and hoof stresses are obtained. So please go through this one and also go through all previous examination question papers and all textbooks on strength of materials or mechanics of solids, and identify the questions which belong to this particular area known as thick cylinders. Then once you identify the question, then you will be able to solve them because you know the procedure how to solve problems using Lehm's equations on thick cylinders. In the next session, we will try to cover more about all varieties of problems that can normally appear in all engineering equivalent qualifying examinations so that the problem solving will become easier, simpler, so that you will be able to get the marks that is allotted for answering the questions correctly. So thank you and goodbye. Let us meet next Saturday, 15th January 2022 at 6 p.m. sharp, so that we will be able to learn more about solving varieties of problems on thick cylinders, so that you will become a good problem solver on this topic. With this, I request that please refer to the previous question papers, go through any textbooks that are available, and go through the solved problems and find out method of solving various types of problems, which we will be covering in the next session on 15th January 2022 between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Kindly join at least 5 minutes before the scheduled time so that you'll be able to check the working of the mic, the speaker, the video camera, etc. And if there are any technical problems, you will be able to overcome that. So normally, if it is for those people who could not join the virtual session through Zoom for any reasons whatsoever, the video recording of this session will be made available so that they can view it or download it and view it repeatedly as many number of times as required, so that they will be able to become an expert in the subject, and one day they can become eminent scientist, eminent engineer, eminent professor, eminent innovator in the shortest possible time and in the simplest possible way. Also, if anybody who is willing to part with his knowledge and experience in the area of any engineering, any subject for that matter, you are welcome to participate by giving lectures virtually through this platform. What you have to do is just send your name, your email ID, your topic which you want to talk about, your mobile number if we have to contact you for any purpose, for this purpose, and any Saturday that is convenient to you between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, so that the same can be included in this program. The ultimate aim is anybody who views the video recordings of this or participates virtually through the Zoom program will be able to understand the subject clearly, correctly, and completely, so that one day they can become an eminent scientist, an eminent professor, an eminent engineer, or an eminent innovator in the shortest possible time and in the simplest possible way. Thank you, viewers. Good night. Have a good day.